We often think we have time to deal with bad habits, toxic people, or warning signs in life. But every moment we ignore them, they grow stronger, and they pull us away from the calm, clear, and powerful life we deserve. Today, I want to talk about 7 behaviors you should never ignore. Cut them off immediately. If you see them, act now. Do not wait. Disrespect is one of the most dangerous things you can allow in your life because it slowly erodes your sense of self-worth and your inner peace. When someone consistently belittles you, mocks your efforts, or treats your time and energy as if they have no value, they are sending a message. They do not see you as equal, they do not value your presence, and they are not worthy of your trust or attention. This is not just about words. Disrespect is an energy that infects your mind, your emotions, and your decisions. The longer you tolerate it, the more it becomes part of your reality, and the more it begins to affect how you see yourself and how you allow others to treat you in the future. Respect is something that is earned, and it is something that you also give carefully. But when someone repeatedly crosses boundaries, when they show no consideration for your feelings, your opinions, or your efforts, they are not someone to be reasoned with or forgiven endlessly. Every time you accept disrespect, you teach people that it is acceptable to treat you poorly. It does not matter if they are friends, family, colleagues, or even strangers. The principle remains the same. Your peace, your dignity, and your focus are non-negotiable. You cannot allow anyone to chip away at these quietly over time while you hope that things will change. It is important to recognize the signs of disrespect early, because it often comes disguised as jokes, sarcasm, or casual comments. People who truly care about you do not put you down in order to feel superior or to make themselves feel better. If someone constantly interrupts you, dismisses your opinions, or laughs at your ideas instead of engaging with them, these are subtle but powerful signals. The danger is that over time, you may start to question yourself, your choices, or your abilities, because the disrespect creates doubt and undermines your confidence. By the time you realize the damage, it may feel overwhelming. One of the most important lessons in life is that you cannot control others, but you can control how you respond. You cannot make someone respect you if they do not want to, and you cannot change someone's character by hoping or pleading. What you can do is remove yourself from situations that consistently harm your mind and your spirit. This is not a sign of weakness. It is a demonstration of strength, awareness, and self-respect. It takes courage to confront disrespect, but it takes even more courage to walk away from people or environments that continually undermine you. Respect also functions as a mirror for your inner discipline. When you insist on respect, you are setting a boundary that protects your mind and energy. You are showing yourself that you are worth the effort, that you will not tolerate being diminished or overlooked. You are teaching others how to treat you without having to argue, beg, or explain endlessly. In this way, cutting off disrespectful influences is not about punishment. It is about clarity, focus, and maintaining control over your own life. It is also important to reflect on the role of forgiveness and patience in this process. While there are moments when people make mistakes or act out of ignorance, repeated patterns of disrespect are not mistakes. They are choices, and recognizing them as choices allows you to act with reason rather than emotion. Acting with reason means observing clearly, acknowledging the harm, and taking deliberate steps to distance yourself. It is not about revenge or anger. It is about self-preservation and understanding that your mental space is your most valuable asset. Being vigilant about disrespect helps you cultivate a life that is calmer, more intentional, and more aligned with your values. When you surround yourself with people who respect you, who honor your time and your effort, you create an environment where growth, focus, and clarity are possible. Your mind is free to pursue what matters. Your energy is not wasted on conflicts that serve no purpose, and your sense of self remains intact. Disrespect, left unchecked, can derail all of this slowly and subtly, but with awareness and decisive action, you maintain control over what enters your life, and who is allowed to influence you. Dishonesty is one of the most corrosive forces in life. It may seem harmless at first, a small lie or a half-truth told to avoid conflict, to make someone feel better, or to gain an advantage. But dishonesty, even in small doses, erodes trust, and trust is the foundation of every meaningful relationship. Without trust, relationships cannot survive, and without relationships that are genuine and dependable, life becomes heavier, more stressful, and full of uncertainty. When someone lies to you repeatedly, or manipulates the truth for their own benefit, they are not simply making mistakes, they are showing their true character, and it is a character that will not support your peace, your growth, or your well-being. It is easy to convince yourself that dishonesty is acceptable if the liar is someone close to you, a friend, a colleague, or even a family member. We tend to give people multiple chances, hoping they will change, hoping they meant no harm, hoping it is just a temporary phase. But every time someone chooses to lie instead of being honest, they are taking your energy, your attention, and your trust without giving anything in return. Every repeated lie is a reminder that their values do not align with yours, and aligning your life with people who do not share your values is a path to frustration, disappointment, and distraction. Dishonesty comes in many forms. Sometimes it is outright lying, sometimes it is exaggeration, omission, or twisting the facts to suit personal agendas. It can appear in words, actions, or promises that are never fulfilled. It can be subtle, like someone claiming to support you while secretly undermining you. Or it can be obvious, like repeated betrayals and falsehoods. The key is to observe clearly and recognize the pattern. If someone consistently demonstrates that their word cannot be trusted, you cannot wait for them to get better or see the error of their ways. Their behavior is a reflection of their character, and character rarely changes unless they themselves choose to confront it. The damage of dishonesty is not limited to the relationship with the liar. It also affects your mind. When you doubt others, you start to question everything around you. You begin to carry unnecessary suspicion, second-guess intentions, and hesitate in your decisions. Your focus becomes divided because part of your energy is always being spent protecting yourself from being deceived. Over time, this creates a life filled with caution and hesitation, preventing you from moving forward confidently and intentionally. By allowing dishonesty to persist in your environment, you allow it to shape your thoughts, decisions, and even your character, because living with constant deception makes you more defensive, more cynical, and less clear in judgment. Acting decisively against dishonesty is not about anger, revenge, or confrontation. It is about clarity, reason, and self-preservation. You cannot control what others do, but you can control what you accept in your life. You can choose who deserves your time, energy, and trust, and who does not. Repeated dishonesty is a signal, a warning from life that this relationship or environment is harmful. By stepping away or establishing firm boundaries, you protect your mind, your focus, and your capacity to act with purpose. This is not selfishness, it is self-respect. Surrounding yourself with honesty creates an environment where trust is certain, communication is clear, and intentions are visible. Life becomes simpler, decisions become easier, and your energy is free to pursue what truly matters. Honest people support your growth and align with your values, while dishonest people drain your energy and obscure your clarity. Protecting yourself from dishonesty is one of the most important steps toward maintaining a life of focus, calm, and intentionality. Observing carefully, recognizing patterns, and acting without hesitation ensures that your mind remains clear, your decisions remain confident, and your relationships remain strong and meaningful. Negativity is one of the heaviest burdens you can carry in life, yet it often comes from sources we do not immediately recognize. Some people seem to thrive on complaining, on finding problems in every situation, on doubting every idea, and on spreading fear or pessimism. When you spend time with them, even a short conversation can leave you feeling drained, frustrated, or anxious. This is not accidental. Negativity is contagious, and your mind absorbs it whether you are aware of it or not. Every pessimistic thought you hear, every cynical comment, and every constant complaint shapes your perspective, weakens your focus, and undermines your ability to act with clarity and confidence. Your mind is the most powerful tool you have, and its clarity is non-negotiable. Negativity does not simply irritate. It infiltrates your thinking, creating doubt, fear, and hesitation. You may start questioning your decisions, your abilities, or even the value of your goals. Over time, constant exposure to negative energy can stunt growth, reduce motivation, and make problems appear larger than they actually are. Life becomes heavier, your progress slows, and your sense of purpose diminishes. The people who dwell in negativity are often blind to their impact, but your responsibility is to protect your energy, your focus, and your mental state at all times. Negativity can take many forms. It may appear as criticism that is never constructive, complaints that never stop, or constant warnings that create fear rather than guidance. Some people may seem helpful while constantly pointing out flaws, mistakes, or risks, but the effect is the same: your mind is pulled away from action and into worry. Others may be overtly pessimistic, always expecting failure, doubting outcomes, and refusing to see opportunities. Even subtle forms, like sarcastic remarks or underhanded skepticism, chip away at your confidence. Recognizing these patterns early is essential because tolerance allows negativity to embed itself deeper into your life. Stoic wisdom teaches that while you cannot control what others think or say, you can control your response and the environment you choose to create. Protecting your mind from negativity is not arrogance, it is discipline. It is a deliberate choice to surround yourself with clarity, focus, and constructive energy. The moment you notice someone consistently pulling you into their pessimism or complaint cycle, you must take action. This may mean distancing yourself, limiting interactions, or setting strict boundaries. Your energy is finite, and every interaction with negativity takes away from what could be spent building your skills, focusing on goals, or creating positive momentum. Negativity also teaches the value of self-awareness. When you feel drained or unsettled after interacting with someone, it is a signal that this influence is harmful. Observing these feelings without judgment allows you to act with reason rather than emotion. By stepping back and recognizing patterns, you ensure that your decisions are not clouded by external pessimism. A life free from unnecessary negativity allows your mind to remain sharp, your focus steady, and your actions deliberate. Finally, consider how negativity affects your decisions and your future. When you are constantly exposed to doubt, fear, or criticism that serves no purpose, your ability to act decisively is weakened. You second-guess yourself, you hesitate, and you lose momentum. By removing these influences, you reclaim your mental space and clarity. You can make decisions based on reason and facts, not on fear or pessimism. Your relationships, your work, and your personal growth benefit because your energy is spent on what matters rather than being drained by unnecessary doubts and complaints. A mind protected from negativity is a mind capable of calm, focus, and action. Dependency without effort is a behavior that slowly drains both your energy and your clarity. Life is built on balance, on mutual effort, and on personal responsibility. When someone constantly asks for help, but never takes responsibility for their own actions, when they demand your time, your energy, or your resources without giving anything in return, they are not partners, friends, or allies, they are burdens. Tolerating this behavior is not generosity, it is allowing your focus and strength to be pulled away from what matters most. Every time you give to someone who refuses to try themselves, you are investing in weakness rather than growth, and this affects not only them, but also your own ability to move forward with purpose. It is natural to want to help others, to support friends, family, or colleagues in their struggles. Compassion is a strength, and assistance can be transformative when it encourages growth, learning, and resilience. But dependency without effort is different. It is a cycle where someone relies on you endlessly, not to learn or improve, but simply to take advantage of your willingness. They take, but they never build. They complain, but they never act. They ask, but they never invest in their own progress. Over time, this drains your patience, your energy, and your mental clarity. Your focus shifts from what is meaningful to what is necessary to maintain someone else's comfort or stability. Recognizing dependency without effort is critical. It is often disguised as need, as a temporary situation, or as unavoidable circumstance. The person may claim they cannot manage without you, that life is unfair, or that they are helpless. But repeated patterns reveal the truth. This is not a temporary problem. It is a consistent choice to rely on others rather than act independently. Every time you notice excuses replacing action, complaints replacing solutions, or reliance replacing initiative, you are witnessing the character of that person. And character, unlike circumstances, is not easy to change. Allowing such dependency into your life without limits is dangerous because it gradually shifts your priorities. Your energy is finite, and if it is constantly being spent supporting those who refuse to try, there is less left for your own growth, your goals, and your peace of mind. The cost is often subtle at first: a little stress, a little fatigue, small moments of irritation. But over time, these small costs accumulate into frustration, resentment, and distraction. Your mind becomes preoccupied with problems that are not yours to solve. Your time is consumed by efforts that do not return value, and your focus is scattered away from what truly matters. Acting with discipline means observing these patterns and setting boundaries. It means being honest with yourself about the cost of supporting someone who refuses to support themselves. Helping once or twice can be generous, but repeatedly allowing dependency without effort is enabling a cycle that harms both parties. It is not cruelty to step back or refuse to give endlessly. It is wisdom. By removing or limiting these influences, you protect your energy, focus, and ability to act with purpose. This is not selfishness, it is self-preservation, and it is essential for maintaining clarity in life. Dependency without effort also serves as a lesson in patience and discernment. Not every person who struggles is dependent without effort. Some need guidance, support, or temporary help to regain stability. Learning to distinguish between temporary need and chronic reliance is crucial. Those who choose not to act, not to try, and not to invest in themselves will continue to drain others until they are removed from the equation. By observing clearly and acting decisively, you create an environment where your energy is spent on growth, action, and purpose, rather than on maintaining the habits or comfort of those unwilling to take responsibility for their own lives. Arrogance and entitlement are behaviors that quietly, but powerfully, destroy both relationships and personal peace. People who believe the world owes them everything, who feel that rules and boundaries do not apply to them, and who constantly demand attention or recognition create chaos around them. They act as if their desires are more important than anyone else's, and in doing so, they pull others into their storm of selfishness. Tolerating arrogance and entitlement in your life is dangerous because it slowly erodes your patience, your clarity, and your ability to act deliberately. The energy you spend managing or reacting to these behaviors is energy taken away from your own goals, your own peace, and your own growth. Entitlement often presents itself subtly at first. A person may expect favors without gratitude, interrupt conversations to dominate attention, or dismiss the opinions and needs of others. Over time, these small behaviors escalate, and the person begins to believe that the world must revolve around them. Arrogance accompanies entitlement, as it is the belief that their perspective is superior, their choices are unquestionable, and their actions are justified regardless of the consequences to others. Both behaviors are connected because they stem from a lack of self-awareness and a refusal to respect boundaries, both internal and external. Dealing with arrogance and entitlement requires clear observation. Stoic wisdom teaches that you cannot control the behavior of others, but you can control how you respond. People who consistently demonstrate entitlement will not change simply because you hope, argue, or explain. They are trapped in a mindset where their desires always come first, and reason, fairness, or respect for others is secondary. Recognizing these patterns early is essential, because every interaction with such a person chips away at your energy, your confidence, and your focus. The more time you spend tolerating their behavior, the more you normalize it, and the more you allow their chaos to affect your life. It is also important to understand the psychological effect of arrogance and entitlement on yourself. When you constantly encounter people who act as if rules do not apply to them, it can create frustration, resentment, and a sense of injustice. Your mind becomes preoccupied with correcting or controlling their behavior, even when it is impossible. Over time, this distraction reduces your capacity for calm, deliberate action, and can lead to reactive behavior rather than thoughtful response. Protecting yourself from such influences is not about arrogance on your part. It is about preserving your own mental clarity and focus. Acting decisively against arrogance and entitlement means setting boundaries and maintaining distance when necessary. It means refusing to enable behavior that drains you and recognizing that some people cannot be taught respect or humility. They must face the consequences of their own choices. Walking away or limiting interaction is a demonstration of strength, self-respect, and wisdom. It is not personal. It is practical. By removing these influences from your life, you protect your energy, your focus, and your ability to act in accordance with your values. Arrogance and entitlement also serve as a test of discernment. They challenge you to observe clearly, recognize patterns, and act without emotion or attachment. By doing so, you cultivate a life where your attention is spent on what is meaningful, where your energy is preserved for growth and action, and where your peace of mind is not disrupted by the chaos others create. Surrounding yourself with individuals who act with humility, fairness, and responsibility allows you to live intentionally, focus sharply, and maintain clarity in thought and action. Recognizing and removing arrogance and entitlement from your life is not merely a choice. It is a necessary step to ensure that your environment supports your strength, your goals, and your inner calm. Betrayal is one of the most painful experiences a person can face, yet it is also one of the clearest indicators of character. When someone betrays you, it is not merely an isolated act, it is a revelation of their values, priorities, and integrity. People who betray are showing you who they truly are, and ignoring this truth is a mistake that can lead to repeated harm. Betrayal is often subtle at first, a broken promise, a misleading statement, or a failure to support you in a critical moment. If you dismiss these signs, thinking it is a one-time error, you allow patterns to continue, and over time, betrayal becomes a recurring event that erodes trust, peace, and focus. The danger of betrayal lies not only in the immediate harm it causes, but also in the way it shapes your mind. When someone you trust deceives or abandons you, it is natural to feel shock, anger, and sadness. These emotions are valid, but if they dominate your thoughts, they can distract you from clarity and purposeful action. You may begin to question others unnecessarily, doubt intentions, and hesitate in forming new connections. By tolerating betrayal or repeatedly giving chances to those who have already proven untrustworthy, you weaken your ability to act decisively and maintain control over your life. Recognizing betrayal requires careful observation and honesty. Often, people try to disguise their actions as mistakes, misunderstandings, or accidents. While occasional human error is understandable, repeated patterns reveal the true nature of a person. Trust is not something to be given blindly. It is something earned through consistent, reliable behavior. When someone violates that trust, even once, it is a warning. The choice to ignore that warning is a choice to invite further harm into your life. Observing clearly and understanding patterns allows you to act with reason rather than emotion, protecting both your energy and your focus. Betrayal also teaches a critical lesson about detachment. Stoic wisdom emphasizes the importance of valuing your inner peace over external validation or relationships that are harmful. People who betray do not respect your boundaries, your efforts, or your trust. Holding on to expectations or hoping for change in them creates unnecessary suffering. By detaching from those who demonstrate betrayal, you reclaim control over your mental space and prevent external chaos from disturbing your inner calm. Detachment is not about bitterness or revenge. It is about preserving clarity, focus, and the ability to act with purpose. Another aspect of betrayal is understanding its inevitability in life. Not everyone will act with integrity, and not everyone you help or trust will act in accordance with your values. Accepting this reality does not make you cynical, it makes you vigilant. Vigilance allows you to observe behavior without attachment, recognize warning signs, and make decisions that protect your well-being. Every instance of betrayal is a lesson in discernment, teaching you to value your energy and time, and to invest in relationships and situations that are reciprocal, honest, and constructive. Finally, acting decisively against betrayal is an act of strength. It is not about anger, resentment, or retaliation. It is about self-preservation, focus, and clarity. Cutting off those who betray you ensures that your life is not pulled into cycles of disappointment, frustration, and distraction. It is a demonstration of reason, discipline, and self-respect. By surrounding yourself with people whose actions align with their words and whose loyalty matches their intentions, you create an environment where your energy is spent on growth, action, and meaningful connections rather than repairing damage caused by repeated breaches of trust. Protecting yourself from betrayal allows your mind to remain calm, your focus sharp, and your life aligned with the principles that guide intentional, powerful, and resilient living.